Welcome everyone to our BSB107 stock pitch. My name is Joseph O'Toole and sitting with me is
Jake Kopitar.
Throughout the past several weeks, we and fellow financial analysts have been extensively analysing and researching two of Australia's retail juggernauts, KMD Brands and Premier Investments. The aim of this pitch is to provide a clear recommendations as to which stock will generate the highest capital returns.
KMD Brands, formerly known as Kathmandu Holdings, is a global outdoor lifestyle and sports company founded in 1987. They have global operations in countries that include Australia, New Zealand, North America and more. Their underlying holdings consist of Oboz, Kathmandu and as well as the recent acquisition of Rip Curl in 2019. KMD Brands holds a 20.1% market share in hiking and outdoor equipment stores. Premier Investments, on the other hand, is an Australian company founded in 1987 that owns and operates specialty retail brands and consumer products. Currently, Premier Investments wholly owns retail conglomerate the Just Group. They also hold a 28% share in electrical consumer products manufacturer Breville Group Limited. The chairman and CEO of KMD Brands is David Kirk and Michael Daly, respectively. David's executive management career included roles such as CEO of Fairfax Media and CEO and Managing Director, PMP Limited. Michael joined Rip Curl in 2002 and fulfilled the roles of CFO and the COO before appointed to the CEO of Rip Curl in January 2013.
The chairman and CEO for Premier Investments is Solomon Lew and Richard Murray, respectively. Solomon Lew has over 50 years of experience in the manufacture, wholesale and retailing in textiles, apparel and general merchandise. Richard has over 25 years of experience in retail and finance. Prior to joining Premier, Richard held the position of Group Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director at JB Hi-Fi Limited. The mission statement of Premier Investments is to be the vehicle to maximize growth in capital returns to shareholders through strategic acquisitions of companies. Their vision to achieve this mission is to leverage its expertise and strong capital position to own and operate a selection of retail, consumer products and wholesale businesses. The mission statement of KMD Brands is to be the leading family of global outdoor brands. Their vision to achieve this mission to create high quality products designed for purpose, driven by innovation and best for people and planet. KMD's newly implemented corporate strategy consists of 4 key pillars: building a global brand, showcasing leadership in ESG, elevating and improving the digital space, and leveraging their operational excellence. Their rebranding from Kathmandu Holdings to KMD Brands shall focus on expanding the group and separation of Kathmandu from its group, while still recognizing its history.
The value drivers of Premier Investments include the support of long-term value creation, reinvestment through purchasing new brands such as Smiggle, Peter Alexander, JJ's, etc. They are constantly chasing long-term growth and security as a company, which as an investor is key to look for. The low-cost edge shown by the net profit margin 19%, which is higher than the peer average. For every $1 of sales, Premier Investments make 19 cents profit. They can use this on investors through dividends or reinvest it into the company. They also have a great management team, including Chairman Solomon Lew, 78 years old, is a long-term businessman who is experienced in what he does and will promote Premier Investments to increase profit. He has recently become the first Australian to be inducted into the Retail Congress Hall of Fame. Executive Director Richard Murray is being mentored by Solomon Lew and with similar passions of increasing profit. The red flags for Premier Investments include a lack of innovation. 3.5% of Premier Investments' revenue growth is below the peer average, so the business is not keeping pace with the competitors. This shows a lack of support towards current short-term growth. Secondly, the current economic situation in Australia in mid-2022, the panel assigned a 20% probability of recession in the next 2 years. By February, this figure had increased to 26% in a period of low growth and high inflation. Increasing competition. The competition in their main industry, retail clothing, is very high. This increases the risk of losing customers, posing a threat to sales. There are 16,306 clothing retail businesses in Australia as of 2023, an increase of 7.8% from 2022. They have to adapt quickly to adjust for new customer preferences in order to retain market advantage over competitors. Lastly, the old age of Chairman Solomon Lew, 78, may pose the risk of leaving a large hold fill for Premier Investments with the risk of retirement or health issues. The benefits he brings to drive profit may be hard to find elsewhere.
Value drivers for KMD Brands. Improved online/digital presence, KMD Brands has implemented several new and improved online services across all brands, including upgraded POS systems, click and collect services, implemented a new customer database, e-commerce platform, and a new Rip Curl loyalty program. Robust distribution network, KMD Brands has a vast and diverse distribution of network, including physical stores, online stores, and partnership in wholesale across the world. This diversification helps to minimize any risk with their channels. KMD Brands has also recently added a new supplier for OBOS, which will help increase the diversification even more. Growing international presence. KMD Brands has been expanding in the international markets, i.e. the USA and Europe. Leaders have been appointed in the key international markets of North America and Europe. By doing this, KMD can leverage each brand's local infrastructure to grow all brands internationally. Environment and social responsibility. KMD Brands has a strong commitment to environment and social responsibility by reducing emissions in accordance with the Paris Climate Agreement, reducing waste footprint created across the brands, and an increase in responsible material content in the products, which recently has become an important mindset for businesses to incorporate to attract younger, more environmentally conscious customers. Intense competition. The markets KMD Brands are involved in are highly competitive, with many established brands and new entrants vying for more market share, which puts pressure on pricing and therefore profitability. There are 1,284 businesses involved in the hiking and outdoor equipment stores, with KMD Brands holding 20.1% share of the market. Economic changes and trends. KMD Brands' financial performance is sensitive to economic conditions, potential recession, or downturn in consumer spending, as shown during COVID, the subsequent lockdowns and restrictions on businesses' operations. KMD Brands didn't fare well, with large decreases in profits and large increases in expenses, with a 43% in operating expenses from 2019 to 2020. Exchange rate fluctuations. KMD Brand operates in multiple countries around the world, exposed to foreign exchange risk, and is particularly risky in the USA with their state of government and economy. Currently, inflation in Australia is listed at 7% and 8% and 6% in the USA.
Our resolution for KMD Brands in a worst case scenario is a growth rate of -3% and a likelihood of 20%. The base case scenario will have a growth rate of 4% and a chance of 30%. The best case scenario will have a growth rate of 8% and a probability of 40%. Our resolution for primary investments includes a worst case scenario growth rate of 3% and a likelihood of 40%. The base case scenario will be behind a growth rate of 5% with a probability of 35%. The best case scenario has a growth rate of 7% and a chance of 25%.
We will be focusing on the best case scenario for KMD Brands as we believe this scenario to be the most probable. This inference has been made under several assumptions about the market. We assume that as COVID travel related restrictions ease, this will lead to increased revenue. Furthermore, KMD Brands has made a great effort to be eco-friendly and sustainable business. This healthy view of the company will lead to further growth as customers will continue to become more conscious about the environment. If KMD Brands continue to expand into overseas markets and grow the business through further acquisitions, the growth rate of 8% is very achievable with a probability of 40%. We believe that the worst case scenario of 3% growth for Premier Investments is the most probable due to several factors. These include the threat of increasing competition. They must adapt quickly to adjust for new customer preferences to retain market advantage over the competitors. The economic situation is expected to worsen due to increasing costs and high inflation. For these reasons, we have assigned a low growth rate with high probability for Premier Investments. The short-term growth rate is a probability-weighted average for both worst-case and best-case scenarios. For KMD, this number is 3.8%, and for Premier, this number is 4.7%. The short-term discount rate considers the risk aversion alongside the growth rate's average deviation from either expected value. For KMD, this number is 8.87%, and for Premier, the number is 5.76%. Intrinsic value is the measure of what an asset is worth. This number is calculated using the financial information from the business to assess whether the share price is undervalued or overvalued. Premier Investments' current share price is $25.06 and intrinsic value is $15.61. This shows that the current share price is well above the intrinsic value. KMD Brand's current share price is $1.04 compared to its intrinsic value of $4.06. The intrinsic value is well above the share price, which indicates that this company is currently very much undervalued.
After careful consideration and due diligence, we will present to you our recommendations. As aforementioned, KMD Brands is massively undervalued and presents itself as a fantastic buying opportunity. Given the strong value drivers and high intrinsic value relative to its share price, we strongly recommend investing in KMD Brands as opposed to Premier Investments.